But here's some films that I kind of really like. So the first one is a slash. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid / The Sting. His collaborations with Paul Newman and the director George Roy Hill. I guess the story goes, originally, Paul Newman was connected to Butch and Sundance. I think George Roy Hill was too as director. And I don't know if Newman was going to play Sundance or not, because there was talk that Steve McQueen could be in it with Newman. But that didn't work out. And again, I totally get it. Like Paul Newman and Steve McQueen as Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid would have been fantastic. But that didn't quite happen. So Paul Newman sat down and talked to Robert Redford. And at the time, he liked Redford. And then George Roy Hill, he liked Redford. And they convinced the studios, like, hey, man, this is our guy. And I think that's when Redford became Sundance over Newman. And it became a huge hit. And to be honest, that changed Redford's life. Because before then, like, he had films. He was making films. He had a Twilight Zone episode. That's a classic. And he was making films, but he wasn't that dude yet. He was still learning to be that guy. That film happened. Everything blew up. And that's where Sundance comes from. Butch and Sundance Institute, Sundance Film Festival. So, and then later on, when we get to The Sting, George Hill, once again, he was the director. But again, it was Robert Redford and George Hill. The studio, I don't think, wanted Newman, because Newman was making films. He made film like Slapshot. Like but he wasn't that top box office guy like he was back in the 60s. But they said, no, Robert was like, this is my dude. Like, no, we're going to do this. And they made The Sting as a classic. It's rare that you can take two actors in two different films and they're both classics. It's kind of like Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn. Like Wedding Crashers is a classic, but the stuff they did after that just didn't work. And Newman and Redford did that. So there's that.